What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a recap every single NFL team for the 2021 season. And I am back in the NFC South with the Atlanta Falcons. So going away from that 2020 season, you had questions: is Matt Ryan going to stay in Atlanta? And if he is, if he wasn't going to stay in Atlanta, are they going to get the quarterback? Because you look at that 2021 class, you had a good draft class for quarterbacks, and they decided to stick with Matt Ryan for another year. But again, if you're going to stick with Matt Ryan, why not build around him? Why did you trade away Julio Jones? And then you had this whole thing with Calvin Ridley, who was retiring or took his ball, went home. Bullshit happened. And then you had Kyle Pitts. He was one of the brightest sparks of the Falcons last season from Florida State. Then you had Cordell Patterson, who was the most guy for receiving and rushing yards. But I'll talk about that in a minute. I want to talk about points for. So the points for, they had 313 points, 26 out of 32 in the league. Points against, he was 459, 29th out of 32. So they were second last, well, third last in points against. In the free agency, they have Russell Gage, who has gone to who's gone to the Buccaneers. You have Cordell Patterson. Is he going to stay in Atlanta? Then you have the problem with that you're over the salary cap. So the acquisitions, you got to be smart of what you get. You got to go into the draft. The offense was bad, and you hired an offensive coach last season. But the offense was fucking bad. How the hell do you explain that? Like, you have an offensive coach, but the offense was bad. But I know for many years the defenses have been that good in Atlanta. But the offense has usually, over the last couple of seasons, got them out of trouble. Got them out of a lot of trouble. And the offense was bad this season. Defense was not good, but I mean, the offense needs a lot of work, because you got Cordell Patterson, who had the most receiving and rushing stats. So that offense needs a lot of work. The defense, I know people say, "Oh, what about the defense?" But the defense can be worked on secondary. The first thing is you need a quarterback. Now, this draft class is weak, and then you look at they traded away Matt Ryan to the Colts for the Colts. They traded him to the Colts, and they got Marcus Marriott from the Raiders, who only played like 10 games, started 10 games. He had 4 yards. Yeah, you could have got, if I look at quarterbacks you could have got in the NFL, there's Jordan Love, who was a young quarterback that needs game time, that really needs to be the starting franchise guy somewhere. He's not going to be doing that in Green Bay now that Aaron Rodgers got that big fat contract. So get somebody like Jordan Love. You should have got him. But you want to go for Marcus Marriott? Why? Why? I don't get why, but this front office is stupid. You got Dean Malone from the Lions, who's a safety. He didn't have a great season with the Lions, so whatever. But you need a lot of things on the offense. Get yourself a linebacker, a running back. You need to work on the front of that defense as well, but that's secondary to what you ultimately need, which is a lot of offense to protect the quarterback. And I want to talk about Kyle Pitts' stats. 17 games started, 17 games, 15 started. You had reception of 68, and Cordell Patterson's, he had reception of 68. He had 90 attempts, 1 touchdown, 2.4 average. Cordell Patterson's stats: 15 games started, 16 games, 15 started, attempts 153, 6 touchdowns, and he was for yards 618. And then you had a 7-10 record, third in your NFC South, and now that Brady's coming back, I don't think you look at NFC South, and before Brady came out of retirement, that NFC South was wide open for anybody to win, because you have Jameis Winston and the Saints trying to find their new quarterback, because I know they couldn't get a quarterback in this. They didn't want to get a quarterback in this draft, so that's why they got James Winston back. But they're looking for a quarterback as well. So, and then you have Atlanta, that this is going to be a stopgap for them, and then they need a quarterback. Tom Brady's come back to the league, so it was a real good way that Atlanta could have actually made a statement here. I have Jordan Love as the starting quarterback in Atlanta, then build around him. Get yourself a wide receiver, get yourself offensive tackle and linebacker and all this other stuff you need, and then focus on the defense later on. Because we know in modern NFL, it's not all about the defense. I know about 10, 15 years ago, people were like, it's the defense that wins you a title. If you've seen from recent years, especially when you look at Bengals from this season, the 2021 season, they had an elite offense. They had weapons around Burrow that he can throw. He can throw against Jamar Chase or Mixon, whoever, and that got the job done. And you can think about the defense later. If you don't have the elite quarterback and weapons around him, you're not going to win anything in the NFL. Peace.